I never thought of myself as creative or artistic as a kid. I grew up being highly agreeable. I did what I was told to do, and I did it very well. While this helped me find success by other standards, what I didn't realize was that my own ambition to follow the rules killed my personal strength of creativity. Close supervision from others and my own fear of disapproval from them prevented me from trying anything original. I also didn't realize that creativity can come in smaller everyday acts rather than large, big, artistic creations like the Statue of David. After researching positive psychology, here's how I've learned to strengthen my creativity and how I know when I'm overusing it. Welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Brandan Scheller. I'm a personal trainer, and I think being healthy means living a full life. Socrates has the maxim, know thyself, and I think knowing your own personal character strengths is crucial to living a great life. Today, we are talking about the strength of creativity, and this is one of 24 strengths listed on the VIA Institute on Character. If you want to learn more, you can take their free survey on their website. I'll have it linked up in one of the corners right now. But then also, I have two other videos that I've made previously, one talking about the 6 main virtues in which all of these strengths fall under, and then also how do you find your own strengths to begin with, outside of just taking that survey, but you can also think about and reflect on your own life to find your strengths in a different way. That all being said, today is about creativity, so we're going to define it, know how to use it, and then figure out ways in which you're overusing it or underusing it in your life. So let's run it. From the VIA Institute, they define being creative as creating original thoughts or behaviors. And they also say it's not enough to just be original, but they also need to be applicable and useful to real things and real people in the real world. They make a clear distinction that a sign of creativity or a creative person is not intelligence, but it's just a willingness to try new solutions to new or same problems. Another misconception about the strength of creativity is that we often think creative people are only the ones that have these large, big creations, such as the Statue of David, like I mentioned in the intro, or coming up with amazing inventions like the light bulb or the airplane. When in reality, the strength of creativity can also be used in everyday actions. Just because you aren't coming up with these significant creations doesn't mean you aren't a creative person. In the book, they recommend small everyday actions like trying out a new wardrobe, trying out a new recipe for dinner, or as simple as going to work or going home in a different route than you normally do. Creativity can come from just trying out new things or trying out the same things we do every day in a new way. From my own personal experience, I like to define creativity as having this natural desire to create, to put something of yourself out into the world. I've also found that when I go through too long of a period of not creating, I start to get depressed. When I'm not able to actually originally put myself out into the world or authentically create something that I only wanted to do, and it wasn't like an assignment someone else told me to do, that's when I start to feel like I've been disengaging with who I want to be. From my own experience, being creative and creating things into the world that I know I did that personally is almost therapeutic. And so one of the ways I've really enjoyed that is photography and videography, and that's even led to what I'm doing right now on YouTube here. Now, I also like to think that being creative doesn't always come from creating tangible physical things in the real world. One of the other ways that I like to be creative is kind of an improv technique called agree and exaggerate. So throughout my day-to-day life, I'll try and go through things and always try and be open to new ideas about accepting things for what they are, but then exaggerating them to be like, oh, what if it was 10 times more than whatever that was? In improv, this is a technique where one person spits out a line and the other person has to agree with whatever they say, but then also make it 10 times funnier, crazier, whatever, within the context of what they just said. This helps me preemptively stop myself from saying no to any ideas and takes them even further to build off of what they are. I think creativity is a really interesting thing, where it's not just being able to go from nothing to having a new idea, but it's being able to take ideas even further than what we normally think. So creativity is almost like a reaction to a certain spark or an idea. Again, it's that idea that creativity is not just about new ideas, but it's coming up with ideas that explore and build off of our already known world and are applicable and useful to other things in the world. Creativity is a valuable strength, no denying that. And when you can use it, you can build up your own knowledge and the knowledge of others in the process. That all being said, creativity is often killed by time pressures, close supervision of others, and disapproval from others to your ideas or disapproval of yourself to your own ideas, because we can get it in our own way of trying to use our strengths as well. I like to think of creativity as a very fragile but very potent strength. And I also like to think that modern day school systems are actually all of those problems stopping creativity, and they're actually a real killer to our own strength of creativity. And so don't forget, you're never someone that doesn't have a strength, it's just that you underuse them. And so Socrates also mentions that to live a virtuous life is to live a life of balance, not one in which we overuse our strength or underuse our strength, but we use it in a good, happy medium. So if you're someone that you feel like you're underusing creativity, this is what that looks like. Overall, being a conformist in particular situations and just kind of saying yes to whatever everyone else says. This could be suppressing your own freedom of thought before you even share it, and that could be for many reasons. It could just be a general self-doubt. It could be from a lack of exploration or a lack of depth in the idea you do want to share, or it could be that maybe if you share this message, you'd feel like you'd be undervaluing other people's messages. And as someone with a communications degree, I understand that how we say things is also important as what we say, if not more important, because there's a way to lovingly and respectfully convey what we are saying without downplaying others' ideas or inflating their ego by playing to whatever and just agreeing whatever they're saying. If this is you and you feel like you are underusing your creativity, think about how not sharing your ideas and limiting your creativity is actually preventing you from being who you want to be and preventing yourself from portraying yourself into the world in an authentic way. Now, you can also overuse creativity as well. I think on an absolute extreme, you can often think of an archetype of a mad scientist or the crazy inventor who has all these ideas, but more often than not doesn't always follow through on all of them, or they aren't always applicable and resonate with other people in the real world. Too much thinking in new ways leads to overwhelm for others and then also a lack of action within your own life. Creativity is a character strength that falls under the virtue of wisdom, and wisdom's downfall is not being able to use the knowledge we take. Knowledge is a great thing, but it's wasted if we do nothing with it. So while being creative may energize you and having all these new ideas is a great thing, it'll keep you stuck in your head and it'll keep you detached from the real world. A good way to find balance with this is to use your strength of perseverance in order to complement your strength of creativity, to follow through on your ideas and actually take action on with them and see them through. And if you're voicing all these ideas and you aren't feeling like other people are actively listening to you, you may start to feel irritated that other people aren't interested in your ideas as well. So it kind of is a two-way street where if you have all these ideas but it overwhelms other people and you aren't feeling like you're actively listened to, then it just creates more problems for everyone. If this is you and you feel like you're overusing your creativity, then challenge yourself to see how your ideas resonate with others and how they apply to other people in the world as well. If you like the strength of creativity and you are at your best using it, then you are conceptualizing something useful and coming up with ideas that are worthwhile for yourself and for others. That's all for creativity. If you enjoyed this video, this is one of 24 strengths, so 23 more videos to come at least on all of these strengths. But if you want to help me out the most right now, the best thing you can do is to just watch more of my videos. That helps tell YouTube that, hey, this is a channel that people are actually watching. We can start to share this with other people as well. As a personal trainer, I'm interested in helping you go from good to your best, and positive psychology is a great tool that we can use to do that. I also think that you at your best is what it means to live a full life. Outside of positive psychology, I'm also interested in training for marathons, so I got videos coming out that on Thursdays. I just kind of my approach for that coming up on April 22nd. Other than that, I'm going to be coming up with new ideas on Tuesdays, new videos, kind of more short form content, calling them 2-Minute Tuesday, so be on the lookout for that. Besides all that, I'm having new videos on Sundays, so next week will be about the strength of curiosity. So until then, take care of yourself and you'll catch me in the next video.